Folks, as you know, we feature a variety of businesses covering a variety of industries here on the show. And the coolest thing to me is the way that people get into business. One of the ways to get into business is going the franchise route. That's exactly where we are today. And this particular franchise just happens to be offering the types of services that all of us could need in our professional and or our personal lives. The name of the company we're chatting with today is PuroClean Property Restoration. Mr. PuroClean, that's what I'm going to call him today. My in-studio guest, Chris Tucker. Chris, welcome, buddy. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Doing good.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Now let's back up just a little bit because I've already let people peek ahead as to how you got into business. But what was your background prior to going this direction?
It was varied. Worked for a small manufacturing outfit in Fort Worth called Lockheed for a number of years.
Familiar with them?
Yeah, small family-owned business.
Yeah,
for a number of years. Got my degree in business. Tried several things that failed, thank you, Lord. And I've always been able to help people, and this was a natural fit for my personality and for the guys that I have the honor to work with.
Did you look at other franchises when you were going this route to find something to fit you? And then what sold you on this particular one, you think?
I looked at a number of them just due to my age and where Lockheed was at that during that time, and narrowed it down to 2 or 3. I have a friend of mine who actually works for another very large mitigation company, and he suggested I look into PuroClean. So after doing my due diligence, it worked out very, very well.
Well, and I know that you guys, in looking at the notes, you do a variety of different things for a variety of people, but some things more than others. I'm guessing water restoration is a big deal.
Water restoration is by far the biggest. If you think of all the number of faucets and drains and water lines that are in your house.
And frozen pipes.
Oh, yes. Back in February and March, I affectionately refer to that as the ice capades. We had a really good time.
Goodness gracious. Well, and I want to make sure people understand is you are residential and commercial as well.
Yes, sir.
Is there a breakdown there too?
Right now, we're probably about 10% commercial and the other 90% residential.
Well, get into it more specifically. I mean, so the pipe breaks. Do I call you immediately? Do I call my insurance company? What do I need to do?
Yes. With the deductible for most folks, they want to make sure that it makes sense for them to make a claim. We have several agents and even adjusters that contact us on a regular basis where the customer or the insured has, experienced a loss. They want to make sure that it's worth their time and money, and for the benefit of the customer to make sure that it does make a claim or it doesn't. So a lot of times we will go out on the benefit on behalf of the insurance company or the insured to make sure that yes, you should make a claim or no, you shouldn't, and here are the reasons why. We find that with most jobs are physically intensive, but we found that our biggest job is actually educating the consumer on what's going on, with their home, what got wet, what didn't get wet, what's affected and what's not affected. And we want the customers to feel at ease when a couple of ugly guys walk into their house and they're freaking out and under high stress during this time, that we can put them at ease, we can educate them, and then let them make a good financial decision.
Well, I wouldn't look at it as ugly guys. I'd look at it as superheroes, because if my house is getting damaged, I want some guys that are going to get in there, know what the heck they're doing. And to that end, are you able to take my furniture to drier land and keep it for me?
Yes.
Talk about that. Yes. That's a service people don't think about you offer.
When we're dealing with water losses, we also deal with what's called secondary damage, and that would be secondary damage to the contents of the home that people work so hard during their lives to get and to maintain and attain in their life. So we can take their furniture and belongings off site. We can clean them. We can package them. We can pad them. We can also evaluate them either on site or back at our facility to see if it makes sense to where it can be repaired or it needs to be replaced on the behalf of the insurance company or the insured. We do that all the time.
Well, I got to be honest with you here. When I was looking at the notes today, that's the first thing that popped in my head was like, I wouldn't even have thought of that. I would have thought I'd have to call a whole different person, but you cover everything. We
do our best to take care of the insured the best way for them. We're kind of serving two masters in the fact that we're a preferred vendor for a number of insurance companies, so we know eventually the insurance company will probably pay us direct, but we also serve the client and the customer with their needs during this loss, and we work them through the process. Well, I think the biggest thing you bring to the table as a self-professed people person, which I can already tell, you like people, you sincerely, and I'm not making light of that, sincerely like helping people. That's exactly the person I want, because good Lord willing, this isn't going to happen to me a lot.
but you deal with it hundreds of times, you and your crew, so you've seen it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, for most folks during their lifetime, you know, we live in the great, small but humble country of Texas. You know, we're involved with a lot of hailstorms periodically. So, you know, for the most part, you know, homeowners have dealt with the insurance company on that side of the house when they've had a hailstorm, dealing with the structure or a car wreck or things like that. They've mainly dealt with the insurance company on that side. But when it comes to internal damage, when fire, flood, any other number of things, it's where you need to bring in a special company to be able to come in and evaluate and work you through that process.
Well, but you're going to be able to, it sounds so trite, but it's so important, particularly what you do. You're going to be able to answer questions that I'm not even smart enough to ask.
We will actually, we will actually require, or, you know, respectfully request the homeowner to look over our shoulders.
Yes.
You know, so that they see exactly what we see, so that we can explain the whole process, how it all works, the timeline. With realistic expectations, this will normally take X number of days. This will normally take this many days.
And again, you've seen it many, many times.
Yes.
Touch on fire loss a little bit, because I know it's not the biggest part, but fire loss brings a whole separate set of things in there. There's going to be some water damage with that as well. But walk me through the fire loss process.
Depending on what the fire originated from, whether it was wood, combustible materials, electrical, a lightning storm, any number, a cooking accident, items, those will depend on how the soot and the smoke will react to the different items in the house and also the structure. So we have to, you know, face each of those separately to be able to deodorize, disinfect, sanitize, evaluate, clean, and restore what we can restore, and then work with the insured and the insurance company when it comes to that. Because a lot of times when you do have fire, you have smoke, you have soot, and then you can have water damage on top of that. And a lot of times, with the fires great enough, you know, the fire department is going to pull the meter. There's going to be no more electricity in the house, so you can't run drying equipment. You
Correct.
can't do a lot of things. So we're very agile when it comes to what we'll be able to do, you know, and we're honest, upfront, transparent, and all that. Work with the homeowner and work with the general contractor and the insurance company to take care of the customer in the best way that's possible to get them through. A lot of times it's a fast process. You know, it happened very quickly, but after that, it may take a long time to get them to put back to pre-loss condition, which is the reason we have insurance.
That's the exact reason we have insurance. It's one of those things we hope we never have to use, but it sure is nice when it's there, kind of like your business.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people don't know about our business, and thank God they don't. I pray that they never have to use us, you know, nonetheless, once or twice in their life. But unfortunately, we've had some repeat customers. So
well, let me. The last thing is, it's a small part. It's a very important. The biohazard stuff. I'm guessing a lot of that is on the commercial side of things. If you're in a building that has some chemicals in there that need to be moved.
It's really not a lot of the chemicals. When we're dealing with the biohazard now that we're coming out of COVID, we do COVID cleanup, sanitization, disinfection, deodorization. Actually deals with a biohazard. So there's certain you know, steps to protect the crew and the occupants of the home to be able to sanitize and disinfect the area to make it safe for the people to come back. But also when you're dealing with biohazard, you're also dealing with bloodborne pathogens. You're dealing with a lot of nasty, nasty things. And we have to have assurances that certain things have taken place prior to us coming on site.
Well, you need to look out for your staff as much as you need to look out for your customer.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, you're going to do that. And let's face it, here in the last year, we've all learned the difference between cleaning and sanitizing and disinfecting. It's all different ball games.
Yes.
But you can play all those games and do it very well. You've been around in Fort Worth for 8 years now?
Yes, I've had a business open since June of 2013. Been in the Metroplex since 1977. When, unfortunately, with my advanced age, I was a freshman in high school. So.
Well, we won't discuss ages anymore. Oh, look, Chris, we're out of time right now.
Oh, great.
But in all seriousness, it's great. I love the franchise type deal because a lot of people out there that want to get into business, they may want to go the franchise route too. But thank you for being here today. But mostly, thank you for being there when everybody needs you.
Appreciate you.
Take care. Hey, folks, appreciate you being here as always. Don't run off. We'll be right back.